Inside Music, brought to you by new Aerowax with 50% more vinyl plastic, so hard you can't scratch the shine away. New Aerowax, for a shine that's hard as nails.
Scratch your kitchen floor with really sharp fingernails and you can scratch off the shine. But not this side. It's protected with new Aerowax for a shine that's hard as nails. Watch again. With a high-priced wax, the shine scratches off. New Aerowax with 50% more vinyl plastic. You just can't scratch the shine. It's hard as nails, so you can wax less often. New Aerowax for a shine that's hard as nails.
The music of the band Complexcity has touched the lives of millions. Their 3 platinum albums attest to that fact. One reason for their success is their broad range of styles. They truly span the gap of the music we've all grown to love in the Western world. Not being able to label their music has only enhanced its quality. Even the members of Complexcity find it hard to categorize their music.
Yeah, it's hard to categorize them, I think. You know, when you listen to the albums, it's hard to say, well, they're not really rock, they're not pop, and they're not country or anything. I'd say Jamaican would probably be the best way to describe the type of music that we've been getting into.
Jamaican. He thinks it's Jamaican. Where I can see where his is Jamaican style, but mine's more like I brought up before, the Australian Eskimo type music. Really good stuff. Have you ever listened to it? It's good.
We ventured out of the studio today to show you where it all began. The year was 1982 when the walleye were running. That was a good year for the walleye. Who would have guessed that a chance meeting between 2 strangers, both fishermen, could have changed musical history forever? It was here at Clark's Bait and Tackle Shop, formerly Brewers. Dave Elvis Rybaczewski and Todd Elbow Stanton reflect on their fond memories of these humble beginnings.
Boy, well, I was at the Bait and Tackle Shop, like you know the story goes, and I was just in there to get some bait. I was going fishing the next day, and I walk out, and there was Todd. We bumped into each other. I guess he was going in there for something too, and you know, after we helped each other up, we hit it off real well, and you know, we started talking about music right away. So that was about it.
I'll never forget it. The bait shop. The bait shop. The bait shop. Did he tell you about it? Yeah. And he bumped into me, I bumped into him. He was carrying a bucket full of worms. And I was carrying a bucket full of those little guppy things about that big. The bait shop.
Lens on the guitar right here. This is lesson number 1, Joe Walsh.
After meeting for the first time, they found out coincidentally that they were both musically influenced by one particular artist.
Tony Orlando. Obviously, I mean, I know it's real obvious in our music that it's Tony Orlando, but between fishing and Tony Orlando, we thought about writing our own stuff.
Tony Orlando was always a big influence with me, and I found out Todd was very much into him too. Matter of fact, we both had a copy of Halfway to Paradise, and it was really a pivotal point in our musical influence. Those high-pitched vocals he had in that song were something that we just emulated, and we wanted to just work on trying to perfect that and to do it as good as he did. And just all his works, we had all his stuff, and him, especially when he went with Dawn and everything, it just skyrocketed for him, and we tried to emulate that, and we tried to work on that throughout our career, yeah.
Well, Dave used to be in a band called The Kitchen Sink, and he gave me a copy of the album, because I had never heard of them before. He thinks that they were big and everything, but I had never heard of them.
The Kitchen Sink, David Rybaczewski's first band, signed a limited contract with Capricorn Records in 1982 and released one title, simply The Kitchen Sink. It was received poorly by the public and critics alike, and after just 3 weeks of release, Capricorn pulled it off the shelves due to a, quote, lack of any artistic quality, unquote. Band members included David's brother Hank, radical guitarist Steve Schmidt, and most noteworthy current pop superstar Dan Milligan.
Actually, I thought he was talking about the real kitchen sink in the kitchen when he said that he was involved with the kids. I used to thought that he was a plumber.
It's here at the Shack Studios where now many well-established artists record their music, but such was not always the case. After rejection from virtually all major recording labels, Complexcity established these studios on loan of $50,000 from friends and other artists who believed in their music. The most noteworthy of which was Roger Hodgson, affectionately known by the band as Raj in the Garage, who came up with nearly half of the money.
Well, we started with at the Shack Studios. We started doing it just kind of to see how it would go. We weren't really sure if we were going to hit it off, if we were going to work good together. I was used to working with the kitchen sink, and that kind of went downhill.
Well, Dave had a buddy, forget his name, Roger. Raj, as we call him. Dave just called him up once, and I don't know what kind of deal they made. I still don't want to know. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't too, you know. But, you know, he made it, and now, you know, we got a contract, so, you know, I can't complain.
We're here at Studios A and B here on the Shack Complex. This is Studio A. Complexcity recorded songs like Obsession and See What I Mean Here. At the same time, Roger Hodgson recorded his album High High in this studio here. Incidentally, Studio B, formerly a garage, underwent a $500,000 renovation and is now the recording home for the Critters. What we're viewing now is a clip of a tape found that included an early jam session. Workers discovered the tape while demolishing walls that needed relocation during the recent renovation of Shack Studio B. October 12, 1986 was the release date for the title A Matter of Time. By the end of that year, more than 1 million copies are sold. The European release date followed a month later with the same results: success. One member unaffected by this success decided to pursue a different direction. Hank Rybaczewski, with deep religious convictions, decided to record gospel music. Although this style of music generally is not as commercially successful as pop and rock, to Hank this was true fulfillment.
He had this great idea that I gave him. It was a great idea to start doing gospel records. I thought it was a great idea, and I was going to do it. He took off and started recording with some kids in the neighborhood, and you know, he started doing that, which the stuff is fantastic as far as I'm concerned.
He released this album, Illimitable, in the spring of 1987. This was the first of 4 releases to date, the first being the most successful. When we come back, we'll investigate what the band calls the Salad Years.